Two things can be true at once. On one hand, Ron DeSantis is a great governor who has significantly shifted the Overton window in our direction when it comes to the use of political power. On the other hand, the push to get him to run for president in 2024 is a subversive op by neocons who hate Trump and his ideas and see DeSantis as the most viable option to replace him. This is objectively true. So talk of DeSantis 2024 has been ramping up because on one hand, he's had a lot of political victories, especially against the woke corporations as of late. On the other hand, Trump has had something of a quiet month. In fact, some of his higher profile endorsements have lost their primaries, which is calling into question his power over the GOP. So is it time to hop off the Trump train because of a bad month? No, it's not. Let me make this clear that I am still Trump 2024. Why? Because as it stands, Trump still poses the greatest single threat to the political establishment and the greatest potential vessel for our populist and nationalist agenda on the federal level. And what I still don't see from DeSantis is a willingness to wage whole-scale war on the Republican establishment and our political class to the extent that we need. On the other hand, I remain convinced that in 2024, Trump's vindictive nature will compel him to go scorched earth on everyone who wronged him. After all, he has done this before.
I mean, you're going to get even with some people.
Yeah, I know. If given the opportunity, I will get even with some people that were disloyal to me. I mean, I had a group of people that were disloyal.
But how do you define disloyalty?
They didn't come to my aid.
Well, what did they do? They turned their back on you?
No, but they didn't do small things that would have helped.
This is what I want, and frankly, when you look at the timeline that we have to ever retake this country, this is what we need. By the end of the next Republican presidency, I want to see the careers of Lindsey Graham, Kevin McCarthy, and Mitch McConnell ended. I want to see the traitorous and fake conservative institutions like the National Review permanently discredited. I want to see the GOP completely transformed for America first. I believe that now is the moment in history that we must do it. It's now or never. And frankly, I think Trump has far more potential to do that than Ron DeSantis. Now, with that said, let me be entirely fair to DeSantis because I think there is a lot of bad faith counter-signaling by the Trump crowd against DeSantis. So let me say that I do still view Ron as one of our guys. I just believe that he serves a role in this movement that is distinct and separate from Trump's. And if Trump's role is that he normalized the America First ideology within the GOP, which is much older than him, by the way, and if his role is to totally upend the corrupt federal system, then Ron's role is that he has normalized the concept of wielding political power against our enemies, especially at the state level. He has set the precedent that limited government does not mean allowing left-wing institutions to walk all over us. Whether that is Disney trying to groom children, or the Tampa Bay Rays supporting gun control, or the Florida universities trying to mandate masks, DeSantis has been willing to stand up, not just with empty talks of boycotts, but with the actual use of political force. Ron truly understands that the culture war and the political war are not separate from each other, and that the culture war is won via the use of political power. Now, do I sometimes wish he went further when it came to power? Sure, but understand that this is the start. We are a movement that has literally been trained to lose for decades, and someone has to start us on the path of winning. And notice how much Governor DeSantis has subtly shifted the Overton window within conservatism, because whereas fighting back with power used to be seen as taboo, it's now basically become expected. Notice how popular Ron's culture war policies are, even among boomers, especially among boomers. Again, Ron has basically single-handedly normalized the concept of using power as a weapon for good within our base, which is precisely what paleocons like ourselves would want to see. And so what I'm saying is, don't let all of the neocons who want to use DeSantis to erase Trump at the federal level distract you from the very real significance of Governor DeSantis as a culture warrior. He has set the trend of using power. He has set the trend of powerful conservative states. Future GOP governors like Carrie Lake and Doug Mastriano will only accelerate this, and it is important, it is good, and frankly, I wish our side would acknowledge that DeSantis is a very important ally, as much as I wish the DeSantis crowd would acknowledge that Trumpism without Trump, quote unquote, is a farce. The brother war between the two has to stop, which I guess is a useful pivot to talk about where this alleged competition between DeSantis and Trump is really coming from. Firstly, look at who's writing these articles about how DeSantis is plotting to run against Trump. It's places like the Washington Post. It's literally our enemies trying to sow division and civil war within our movement. And that's why I'm not ready to throw DeSantis under the bus because he allegedly said this or that to the donors, according to the Washington Post. At the same time, let's look at who is pushing DeSantis 2024 on the right. It's the neocons. It's the places like the National Review who want to get rid of Trump and see DeSantis as the best way to get there. Because I'm sure they would prefer someone like Nikki Haley or Mike Pence, but they understand that Ron is the only viable guy who could hypothetically win a Republican primary. When you look at the Ron 2024 people, it's pretty clear what the motive is. And their motive is not that they want Trumpism without Trump, like some of them claim. These people don't just want to get rid of Trump the person. They want to get rid of Trumpism, nationalism, populism, and everything that Trump has brought to the GOP since 2016. They see Ron DeSantis as a somewhat controllable and viable vessel to do that, which is sad because I don't think that Ron is a neocon at heart, but I also don't think he has the revolutionary or anti-establishment enough mindset to fend any of these bad interests off if he were to run for president either. So understand that this is the real motive behind DeSantis 2024. Regardless of what you think you're doing, electability or whatever, this is ultimately what you're enabling if you support Ron 2024. That is the neoconservative reclamation of the Republican Party. Now, with that said, if Ron continues to be a powerful governor and Trump manages to clean out the swamp on his revenge tour, then maybe we can have this discussion in 2024. I do think that Ron's understanding of power and the culture war could be something that is effective on the federal level if he doesn't have the neocons around to subvert it. Right? But for now, the Trump train is the only choice. This is still Trump's party. But what I am offering DeSantis and his supporters is a seat at the table. Now, with that said, if the Washington Post article is true and Ron does try to primary Trump in 2024, I won't be so nice. Because at that point, the gloves do come off. I am Trump 2024. It is a primary. It is a brother war. And I will defend my guy. Now, it would break my heart because I love DeSantis. I moved to this state for a reason. I even volunteer on his re-election campaign for governor now and again. But if that day comes, yes, I am loyal to Trump. No questions asked. But that day hasn't come, and quite frankly, I still remain convinced that it won't come. Because I think Ron is smart enough to know that it isn't a good idea, but we'll see. We'll see, okay? But for now, I say we do not let subversive libtards or neocons sow division between two very good political leaders who both serve the cause of America first in important yet distinct yet different ways. So yeah. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, there's the updated Ron versus Trump video. I feel like we always make one of these whenever the discussion comes up, but I think it's very important. I think where certain people stand on this honestly tells you a lot. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, before I go, I wanted to announce this may be the very last time you see this setup, okay? I'm not sure, but I'm moving apartments right now. I still have access to this one, but I'm trying to build a new set as much as possible. Trust me, the new set is going to look way better, way more professional than this. This was always kind of temporary. I knew that. I'm probably going to be staying in this next apartment for a lot longer. So I don't know. We might do one or two more videos with this set, but if not, say goodbye to this set. Take it all in. Take one good last look at it because it's going to be gone very soon. But don't shed a tear. The new set's going to be epic. We're moving in with epic APU Chad Jackson, and it's going to be the kind of the first APU hype house, the shell of that. So it's going to be a great time. Looking forward to it. But yeah, with that said, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I am like I said, moving right now, but I'll try to keep the content as active as possible. If you want to support the channel, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, check out the merch, link in the description. Consider becoming a member. We're going to have a lot of special members content coming this month, especially with the move and all of that. A lot of vlogs, new stuff. So yeah, with that said, thank you very much for watching. Alpha Moves Only. God bless and peace.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo as long as we are led by politicians who will not put America first. Then we can be assured that other nations will not treat America with respect. The